Good morning. Good morning. I just can't wait to tell you how great good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to seven, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Thursday. That's right. Today is Thursday, December 10th, 2020. Can you believe it? And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Thursday, December 10th, 2020. And so let's make the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Facebook's doing something weird this morning on my end. I don't know what kind of experience you're having on yours. I am noticing that there's no comments that are popping up. I think I see a couple. I see Kim Fair, Brad Smith, right? There's only a couple comments that are popping up. It's going to be a unique experience this morning. Apparently, it won't even tell me if anybody's in here, but I think that I'm assuming you have to be on here. That's just my assumption. Maybe I shouldn't assume that you're here. Maybe that's a bad idea to make that type of assumption. But I am assuming because I'm going to go ahead and go on and deliver today's episode of hashtag Rise and Grind. It's going to be a good one. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Man, this month is just flying by. I cannot believe it's already December 10th. It's like super crazy. And man, this has been a fun week here on hashtag Rise and Grind. We have been traveling all around Asia, right? Going around Asia and just experiencing the beauty of this incredible continent, right? This incredible continent made up of 48 different countries, different cultures, different religions, different beliefs, different traditions, different backgrounds, like really an incredible experience all the way around. And so we've been going back and traveling and learning from their ideas and learning from their belief systems and just learning like how they have this idea of oneness, right? This idea of oneness and this whole kind of serving mindset. Like if I lift you up, it's great for the greater good, right? The more I pour into you, the better it is for all of us. And so we've been diving into this idea and this concept. We've also been learning from the wisdom of the Chinese proverbs, right? Like one Chinese proverb we covered was a crisis is an opportunity riding the dangerous wind, which I love. I just think that paints an incredibly beautiful picture. Another one that we covered is the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. And I don't know about you, but that one really stuck with me. I thought that was quite wise, to say the least. And also we've been going through and truly like admiring their aesthetic precision and the elegance with which they weave beauty into everything that they do. And for me, it's been truly an eye-opening week as I've learned these things and profoundly impactful in my life. Hopefully you've experienced the same thing. And today it's only going to get better. Today we're going to extract a few words of wisdom, but we're also going to gain inspiration through the effect that the Asian American has had on all of us today. It's going to be an amazing show. But first, before we do have to dance, and this is where things will get a little interesting because I can't see who's on here. And I can't see any comments, which is interesting. And it makes for an entirely different dynamic today. But hopefully some of you guys are on here. Ooh, maybe if I do it this way, it'll show me. Yeah, Tina Bacon. I see you good this morning. She's like, what the heck's happening with Facebook today? I have no idea. I see Kim Fair. I see Don Sankey. I see Julio Soto. I see Sarah Ball. She says, well, don't know if these comments are posted, but good morning, family. I see you. I see Sherry Denise Chaquette. I also see Janelle Griego. Mr. Melvin Rodriguez is up here. Sarah says notifications are going crazy when she can't see anything. What's up, Whitney Wells? How you doing, young Darius Johnson? We've got Mike Higdon up in here this morning. I also see Tracy Tassin. Hi, Tracy. I see Linda Labont is in the house. I see Liza Myers-Borges. She says here, but no notification this morning. Gotta love that. I see Michelle Phillips-Berker. She's got a wonky Facebook today as well. I'm also seeing Pete Daly. How you doing, Pete Daly? I see Chadrick Varnsky is up in here. He says he only sees 6 viewers, which that is not the case. I see Tim Duff. What's up, Tim Duff? Mr. Brad Smith is up in here. How you doing, Eddie Brown? John Paul Guidry is up in here this morning. How you doing, Alita Patrick? Anita Falker Hill. We got Aiden Kirshner is in the house. Jeff Baker is also getting a weird Facebook feed. How you doing, Rick Tamburino? Richard Bruce, all the way from Uganda. He's going to meet up with the kiddos today. Him and I were having a conversation this morning. God just kind of led me to connect with Richard. He's messaged before. I think Scott Simons is doing something with these amazing kids over in Uganda. And this morning it was just on my heart going into the Christmas season to see what we can do offline to make an impact in those kids' lives over there. So keep your eyes open and your ears peeled for that one. What's up, Samuel Sneed? I see Kim Wilson. I see Greg Golker is up in here this morning as well. I also see Michael Guthrie. I see Amber Who's Got a Key. Yes, I nailed it. Amber Who's Got a Key. That's right. Thank you for sharing that with me. I see Suzanne Wall. I also see Bill Schomburg. Thanks for tagging those folks, Amber. I appreciate that. What's up, Robert Downey? Mr. Ray Hatcher is in the house. And the one and only Sean Jones. What's up, Tim Duff? And of course, Josh. Oh, that's right. I love seeing him up in here. What's up, Judy Anderson? We got Jess Gentry is in the house this morning. Steph Jane Ross killing the game. I always see you on social. What's up, Brian Evelyn? Great to see you. Wendy Reeves is up in here this morning. My goodness. Cindy Conley Ratkovich for the feed saying that nobody's up in here. It's interesting. And for not having any comments, that's even more, because now it says there's 289 comments. I can only see them, though, if I jump out of the live feed. For those of you that are watching on replay, or those of you that are listening on the podcast, maybe those of you that are watching on YouTube, congratulations. You chose the correct form of media to participate in hashtag Rise and Grind today, because we're on the struggle bus this morning, apparently, when it comes to Facebook Live. Hey, do me a favor. I would like you to grab your planner. If you don't already have a hashtag Rise and Grind planner, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but it's time for you to go get one. Go to riseandgrindplanner.com. Also, if you're not a part of the Rise and Grind group here on Facebook, I'm really not sure what you're doing with your life. I'm going to need you to lean into that a little bit and become a member of the hashtag Rise and Grind group. It's the only place on Facebook where you're only going to find Facebook. It's the only place on Facebook where you're only going to find motivation, education, and inspiration. That's all you're going to find. You're not going to find nothing else but motivation, education, inspiration, and a bunch of amazing humans. But if you grab your hashtag Rise and Grind planner, what you're going to see is at the top of every single page in our planners, there is a quote or a Bible verse that is submitted by actual real life Rise and Grind members. It's what makes it one of the most unique planners. Is not only are you getting a planner to map out your day, but you're getting a place to write out your gratitude, to write out your goals, to complete a solid, powerful morning routine, but you can also connect with the people. Every single one of them is a real life human being that has submitted an amazing quote that what they wanted to share with you to offer some form of inspiration in your life. So make sure you go get one if you haven't already, riseandgrindplanner.com, or of course you can go to riseandgrind.life to learn more about our group and learn more about what we do and all of those things. You're welcome to do that. We would love to have you. But today, if you open your planner today, what you'll see is there is a quote that was submitted by my man at Carter Myers Automotive, my man Sean Jones, and his quote is this, and I'm excited to share it with you. It says, "Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present." That's right, my man. I absolutely love that, Sean Jones. Thanks for sharing that with us this morning. I want to take some time this morning with you to be present. Let's just be right here together, because together we're going to learn some powerful things today through looking at the Asian American culture that I truly believe we need to apply in our lives today, this week, this month, this year. So I want you present with me today. All right, let's bring it in. I know it's a little crazy right now on Facebook. For some reason, we can't see the comments. For some reason, we can't see who's on the feed, so on and so forth. Totally get that, right? Totally get that. So instead of allowing that frustration to take us from the present, the reason that we're really here, because see, you and I are here to change the way we start our day so we can become the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be, which is ultimately going to allow us to make a massive impact in other people's lives. So I'm going to challenge you to put your frustrations aside, the things that we don't have, right? The things that we've lost and the things that we're yet to gain are not where the miracles exist. Miracles exist right here in the now with what you have left. And what we have left is an incredibly strong connection and an opportunity to kick this day off the right way and not allow anything to throw us off track. Sean, the quote that you submitted, you couldn't have submitted it on a more perfect day. So thank you so much for making an impact in our lives this morning. I also, when I read this word gift, it made me think of my incredible assistant, Jessica Bailey, and her husband. They have their new baby that came 2 days ago. So do me a favor, if you would, Jessica Bailey on Facebook, blow her up with congratulations today. They have their new baby. They adopted this baby 2 mornings ago at 2 a.m. is when she had her baby. She's been wanting a baby for a really long time. She's been trying really hard to have a baby for a really long time, and it turned out she wasn't able to biologically have one, but instead she got this miracle gift of this strong, healthy, beautiful baby that she now has. So give her a shout out today. She's in the hospital with the baby. She's gonna be there for a couple days. I'm super excited for her and her husband and their journey. So if you could do that today, that would be absolutely incredible. Now we're going to dive into this week's series, the Asian culture that we've been diving into. And so I want to hear from my friend Heather Parody. She's got a guest with her that's going to help us dive in, and then we'll go from there. All right, let's do this.
What's up, y'all? It's Heather Parody. We're going to hear more about traditions from Asian culture at Christmas time. Last time we talked to Clover Lamb with Unconventional Asians about what it was like growing up in Hong Kong and the importance of travel. Today we connected with her again to hear about Japanese culture, and this is what she had to say.
Hi, it's Clover again, and from Unconventional Asians. And last time I shared with you the Christmas traditions from Hong Kong, and this time I'm going to share with you the Japan traditions for Christmas, because it's a little quirky. It's very interesting. What they do is that they, have a feast and have a lot of chickens instead of turkey, I guess, because that's more accessible. And the fast food chain that they go to the most is KFC. They literally sell out of all the KFC chickens during Christmas time. So I find that very interesting and something that we don't do at all in North America. So I just want to share that with you. And one more thing I want to share with you about Japanese culture that I really admire is that they're really meticulous and organized. They're basically perfect in everything they do, and they're, extremely polite, as we know. So it's something that I think we can all emulate and learn from. So again, my name is Clover, and you can find me at Unconventional Asians on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And we have a Facebook group as well, also called Unconventional Asians, where we invite the Asian community to join us to learn to be authentically themselves. Thank you so much, and I'll see you there.
I like me some fried chicken. I can handle that tradition. How about y'all? Now here's a tradition that completely freaks me out. It's not Asian. I don't know where this came from. Who has one of these? You can't trust this face. Look at that face. Comment, let us know, Rise and Grind. Now that I've hurt my daughter's feelings, do you have an Elfie on the shelfie?
There's a really good King of the Hill episode where the neighbors, from Laos, he's Laotian. Hank Hill's like, so are you Chinese or are you Japanese, right? And then the guy's like, no, I'm from Laos. It's a Southeast Asian country. And then in the end, he's like, okay. He's like, so are you Chinese or are you Japanese, right?
Every time I meet somebody new, the question always comes up, where are you from? And I always want to say Minnesota, but you know what they mean.
I was at a bar and someone asked me my name and I said Rachel. And then they said, okay, but like, what's your real name?
Chinese are not the same as Japanese, are not the same as Koreans, are not the same as Filipinos or Thai or, you know, Indians.
And not every single Asian person gets into college. Not every single Asian person goes to a great school. Not every single person has, you know, a great job.
I can still be Japanese American and know that part of myself and know that history. But it's also okay to still identify as like a gangly little suburban kid. And I'm fine with that.
I remember seeing like Wayne's World growing up, and I was like, oh, Tia Carrere, she's Filipino, Hawaiian Filipino. And they're like, no, she's playing Cantonese. And I was like, oh, we don't even get to be ourselves. We don't even get to be who we are. We have to play at something else.
Most times in high school or places like this, you don't really have an outlet where you can talk about these Asian American issues. Even in the workplace, you know, you need Asian American mentors who experience the bamboo ceiling, something that happens in corporate America. So most times if you actually look at it, you'll see that a lot of Asian Americans, for instance, you know, they're in middle management or they're in engineering, but you don't really see them in high CEO roles. And the reason being is oftentimes our culture, for instance, you know, my mom always tells me, don't ask for a raise. Keep your head down. You know, when you do your work, your boss will basically, you know, see that you're doing well and he'll give you a raise. But in America, it's not like that. America's the squeakiest wheel gets the oil, right?
People sometimes say that, Nobuko, just forget about Japaneseness. Just open up yourself more and be more expressive and be more upfront and straightforward.
That goes back to the stereotype of like, oh, like no one talks about Asians because Asians don't speak up.
My parents didn't want me to learn the language. They thought that if I were to learn Tagalog at home, that I would have an accent and I would have the struggles that they had because they were shamed for having thick accents when they first immigrated to the US. I think I struggle with it even now, that talking to my parents, I think they do regret those moments of wanting something different for me. I have two younger sisters who are 10 and 8, and I really feel it's my responsibility to help them come to terms with the identity crisis I know they're going through and bridging the gap between the American culture that they deal with at school and the Asian culture they deal with at home.
There is just so much beauty in the distinction and different cultures out there that I think it would be to everyone's advantage to learn more about all the different places we come from.
I love seeing that these communities are asking for representation because it's so important to me. And I think my ownership is getting to be a part of that.
And even celebrate the fact that it's so cool to be different, to have something to offer that someone else may not, and to exchange ideas rather than just try to be the same idea. I think that concept is just, it frees you so much. There's so much freedom in that.
It's so cool to be different, she said. I love that. Exchanging ideas with those who don't think like you, the beauty that exists in that. Sometimes that's a foreign concept to many, especially here in the United States as of recent. The idea that people can actually disagree and yet still look out for one another is fading. You see, regretfully, we see it all around us in this country when it comes to the division in race, division in religion, the division in politics. It is so profound these days, it's impossible to ignore. But I find it interesting, there's actually an ancient Chinese proverb that says this: if you are patient in one moment of anger, you will escape 100 days of sorrow. And I think that's a proverb we need to apply in America today. Sometimes you just got to take a deep breath before you speak. Everyone is so quick to disagree. Everyone is so quick to write off anyone that disagrees with them. That's not the way it's meant to be. You see, as we study Asian culture, we get a better understanding of the oneness, the connectedness, the beauty that exists in the blended. You see, there's a lot that the Asians have brought over to America, when they originally migrated over, they brought so much with them, including, and no shortage of, food. The Asian food and cuisine that the Asians brought over is one of a kind. I don't know about you, but I love that stuff. They also brought over this idea and concept of respect for the elderly. You see, the elderly are revered and treasured in the Asian culture. Their wisdom, something to be gained, something more valuable than gold. They also brought over a belief and an appreciation for schooling, and how important it is to get a higher education, ensuring that their children go through at least college. Some form of college is basically the standard that they stand by. Now, fast forward to today, and they've really led the charge on keeping a hold of like ethnicity within the media, right? So we've got ethnic newspapers and journals and websites and radio and TV. And these are places where they share the news, not only of what is going on here in our country, but what's going on back home. You see, holding on to a sense of community is incredibly important to them. You see it in places like all over the country, but Chinatown and places like that, where the culture is still held on to, even though they're here in America. As a matter of fact, there's a large Japanese festival called Nasai Week. And during Nasai Week, they will go out and they'll celebrate the traditions and the original cultures that come from Asia. Again, to create this idea of community and inclusivity, even when you're the minority. They brought us things like acupuncture and feng shui. These are all Eastern Asian concepts, right? The idea of herbal medicine was brought to us by our Asian American friends. And so it's been really neat studying all these things, learning more about them, because they truly are a diverse and wise culture. It's the only way I could describe the Asian culture. Culture is incredibly diverse and incredibly wise. There's a proverb that says, there's an invisible red thread that connects those who are destined to meet, regardless of time, place, or circumstance. The thread may stretch or tangle, but it will never break. You see, they believe, and I do too, that we are all connected, my friend. In one way or another, your life impacts mine. In one way or another, your success matters to me. In one way or another, there are those that will lose if you don't win. It is all connected. And when I study this and I think about this and I focus on all this and we talk about this all week, to me it's a clear plug. It's a clear plug for the concept that I believe in, that you and I are children of God. Made by design, not just some random place, but made by design. And yes, we are flawed, and it is in our flaws that we find beauty. Like precious diamonds that only need to be rinsed off in order to shine. There's an ancient Chinese proverb that says it's better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without one. That's you and me, my friends. Diamonds with flaws. Children of God, uniquely made by the God of the universe, the God that made everything. Made me and made you to be the absolute best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. Not an average version, not a little bit of beloved, beloved. I can't even talk this morning. Not an average version, not a little bit above, not a little bit below, but the absolute best version of ourselves so that we can possibly be. not for you and not for me, but ultimately for the people that we have red threads connected to, that we have an opportunity to make a positive impact in their life. That's what it's all about. Listen, my friends, I want you to go out there and have an incredible day today. Embrace the differences between you and others. Reach out and connect with people on a massive level. And if you need more videos like this, you can go to glenlundy.com. If you haven't got your Rise and Grind planner yet, get it now. If you haven't gifted one yet, gift one now. If you have a team of people that you want all on the same page in 2021, get them a planner now. I'm telling you, there are game changers. This is a life changer. So go get one. Go to riseandgrindplanner.com. Go get 1, 10, 100, whatever you need. Today's the day. Make it happen. But most importantly, come back here again tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m., because we're going to do this all over again on #RiseAndGrind. Have an incredible day. Love you.
Good morning. All my people for the sunrise. Stepped into my greatness, feeling powerful and energized. Thankful to be alive. #blessed. Write my mission, vision, values, and my gratitude list. I'm building up momentum. I'm making good decisions. I rise, I grind, I get it. Ain't no doubt that I'm committed. Cause who really loses if I don't win? Can't cheat the grind, only get what you put in. So I'm mastering my mentals. I'm focused on my physical. I'm developing spiritually and manifesting miracles. I'm gonna get it started, have a party in the morning, and I'ma wake the world is so alarming. I #rise and grind, #rise and grind. First thing on my mind, early in the morning time. Daily motivation, feeling so divine. Waking up the nation.